Leo natives, 2026 is going to be an year for restructuring. This year is going to test your patience, transform your mindset, and prepare you for a powerful rise ahead. In this video, I'm going to cover the key aspects of how 2026 will shape up your career, money matters, parts of health, and marriage. Also, I will be covering about how it impacts your kids. So let's get started. Now, in terms of transits, the major transits for 2026 are Saturn is going to remain in your Pisces, which happens to be your eighth house all through the year. Jupiter is going to transit in June. It's going to transit back again in October, end of October. So that's another transit. And Rahu Ketu transit towards the end of November, which will be sort of impacting your 2027. So let's get started with your career part. So first half of 2026 is going to be positive for you. You will be expanding in terms of networking, having professional support. This is a good time for a job change, or if you're looking for your own individual consulting projects, not necessarily entrepreneurship, but something which is to do with freelance work or consulting projects, that's an ideal time for Leo Ascendants to get into something like this. Your income will improve during this period, but it will come at the cost of increased workload as well. Second half, which is like post the mid, like let's say June 2025 onwards, that is where it will be a little tricky on the work front. You will be doing largely like the work where you're not in the limelight. It'll be more like back end related, or even if you are in a front ending thing, you are not leading things. So things are going on in the back end. But this is the time period where you should be very, very cautious about any impulsive job exits. Like, do not just resign in a haste. So that's something which you should watch out for. There is also a likelihood for getting some foreign clients or foreign connections towards the end of last quarter of 2026. Uh, Money wise, it's going to be a mixed year because till the first half, there will be gains because Jupiter is aspecting your 11th house. So it's transiting in your 11th house. So that way, you will have good gains during the first half. And after that, what will happen is you will see some expenses taking shape, which could be towards health, could be towards family members, travel, but important thing to note here is during this while, avoid any kind of risky investments. So risky investments, like sometimes it could mean like don't get into any speculations, but do not lend money to anyone without security during this period. Now, that's something which you should definitely keep in mind. Now let's talk about the most sought after part, which is about marriage. So marriage I've broken into two parts, for married people and for unmarried people. So for married people, this is going to be a test. I mean, this period is going to test your emotional stability in marriage. Plus, at the same time, it will also be a test of trust on each other. So there have been times where there was like a lack of trust or something missing in the marriage. That is something which is going to continue. During this while, there is also a likelihood, again, depending upon the individual chart, but there is a likelihood that your spouse may actually get into a sort of a health concern or a career problem, basically something which can cause emotional stress. For unmarried people, again, this will be the period where you will be in 2026. You will have intense relationship, but at the same time, it will be confusing. So you may not be able to come to a conclusion whether I want to commit to this relationship or not. The best way out is go slow, have deliberate, well thought through decisions, which will give you better results. Anyone who takes a decision for an impulsive marriage during this period will regret later. So that's something, especially during the first half, is something where you should not get into those kind of impulse decisions. Anyone who is also who's married and looking at having a child, expanding the family. There will be anxiety during this while, delay anxiety with regards to conception. You may be like thinking, oh, why this is not happening? We've tried it and all. So that's gonna be a bit of a delay period, but you need to just keep patience. Pressure is not gonna help during this while. And if you already have a child during this while, again, there will be like with regards to a child health or education, things will get a little tricky from the June period onwards, because right now Jupiter is aspecting the fifth house, so that's working fine. If you're a student, then for a student, it is very simple. This year, the second half is going to be harder for you. So make sure that you will only reap benefits if you are studying in isolation. Leo Ascendants, avoid group studies for your preparations for exams, entrance tests, etc. Isolation is something for studies that is going to work for you in this year. Health front, there aren't any major blips, but there could be like some hormonal things, hormonal imbalances for women during this period. Digestion issues could come up, issues related to the gut. So those are the impactful areas, but nothing major or important to watch out for. So overall, I would say this year is a mixed year for Leo ascendants. And one thing which will continue to happen is your overthinking and sleep issues. So you will also have sleep issues during this while. Either you're not able to sleep properly or you're sleeping too much. And there will also be an additional fear of loss of sometimes like someone or loss of something very valuable to you. So that is how the year looks like. Second half of the year, you may be skewed more towards, you may have a foreign travel on the cards, or you may also be going to a pilgrimage. So that's something which will be more karmic for the second half of the year. And eventually, I mean, just understand this year is not to punish you, it's just a year to purify you, because what survives during this period will become unshakable. Your real rise will begin after 2026.